call it number one. It's the first Australian produced TR3, and that's why I bought it, for its history. This car's got a really interesting history that's worth repeating. This is the Triumph TR3. I've had a lot of Triumphs. I love Triumphs. My passion in cars started with English cars, as you guys, as MG people, can share that. You get used to the Lucas Electrics, you get used to the oil leaks, and you kind of love the quirkiness of them. So I've had a number of Triumphs, a TR2, a TR5, two Stags, a number of 2.5 and Triumph 2000 saloons. And when I came here to Australia, thinking I was going to be going back to New Zealand, I thought I'll take one Aussie car with me when I go back. And in the end, I chose the Triumph TR3. They were designed by Michelotti. Triumph did a lot of Italian styling of their cars. The Triumph Herald, the Triumph Stag, the TRs 2, 3, 4, 5 were all Italian designed. The Triumph TR6 was a German redesign of the Triumph TR5. But they were a basic sports car. The chairman of Triumph was a chap called John Black, and he wanted to have a sports car that took on the MGs, because as you know, they were the name sports cars of the day, right through the T series and onwards. And John Black wanted a Triumph competitor, so they built a ladder chassis. They styled the body in that style, which was a little bit different to the MGs. They put their Massey Ferguson tractor motor in it, 2-litre tractor motor, but with twin carbs, and a really strong bottom end and cross-drilled crank and they raced them and they rallied them, and they were a great success. And they're just a gutsy little sports car. They've got a bit more pep than your MG. Maybe not refined in some areas, but Carol and I have just been to Tasmania in it. We went to the Nationals, and we were just gobsmacked. 6,000 kilometres in a 60-year-old car. And again, I've got to give thanks to Ben and Keith.
Oh, I worried the whole time.
I gave it to them for 2 months beforehand, and they just did the kind of scatter checks that I don't have the time or knowledge or skill anymore to do. And I just got lazy. I just like to play with them now.
Not that we're concerned, it's just the age factor. There's only so many things you can do. And I mean, there's no reason why I couldn't have done it, but you just never know. Things can happen. We've touched every nut and bolt on that. Pretty much.
When I bought it, I got it at a good price. It had been it was an older restoration. We've since met the restorer and spent a lot of time with him in Melbourne, and he's come up here to visit and be reunited with his car. But it's an older restoration, and the owner in between had flogged it, and I bought it with a broken gearbox, broken first gear, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the overdrive wasn't working. Now, again, a tribute to these guys, and this is a funny story. When I was first asking around town who knows how to work on old cars, I heard about Keith. Keith knows Triumph, so I approached Keith, who I think was already a patient then, weren't you? And he told me later he thought I was talking about motorbikes. And he said, yeah, I'll take it on. And then found it was a Triumph car.
I haven't got a passion for Triumph motorbikes, but I thought, I'll have a quick look at it, and this turned up.
But again, these guys hadn't seen an overdrive, but I gave them the stuff off the internet, and they just stripped it down. They could immediately see how it worked, the Laycock-to-Normanville hydraulic principle of the gears and things. They in fact made it better than it was. There shouldn't be a bit of slop here. There's no reason it should be. We'll pack that out a bit, machine shaft a washer or two, and they've got the gearbox and the overdrive great. They've since reconditioned the motor. Just before we went to Echuca 4 years ago, I heard a whiff of bearing noise just as I changed down into Murphy Street. Switched it off, turned it around. Yes, it was running a bearing, so they did a full motor recondition. Got all the parts through the TR Club. Great parts network. I think we ended up about $1,200 worth of parts for a complete new motor, crankshaft, and it's now become quite a well-known car because Australia is locally assembled ones, as you probably know, have to have an assemblage of local content. That's how they got rid of some of the tariff laws or something. And so the Australian ones are different to anyone else's in the world, and they had a different interior design. It's got a kind of a houndstooth dashboard pattern. We don't now call it houndstooth. We found out at the last concours there is a proper name, but it's.
I live just down the corner there, and I can hear something. What's that? This. I know what that is, and I just step out there, and I'm round the corner and gone. Yeah, opens from the front.
This one you'd have seen last year. I think Stuart kindly started it up for you.
That wasn't a problem.
Yeah, you only got this before we came here for Christmas.
I dropped it off and went straight to the plane to head for New Zealand. I just fell in love with this car, the colour combination, the red and yellow. I'd always liked the C3 Corvette. This is a 1969 C3 Corvette, all fiberglass body. Built 350 Chev motor, but stroked out the 383. Built as a show car in the States in 2010 and came out to Adelaide, and then I bought it off the second Australian owner from New South Wales who collected Corvettes. And I just, I was researching an original one, and when I saw this I thought, bugger originality, this car just smokes my wheels. I love the big Foose chrome wheels. I love the genuine lake pipes. Those pipes come individually out of every cylinder. Usually they're dummies, but individually out of every cylinder, all hand built and curled around to come out there. I just loved it. It's not my usual thing because I'm into collectability and originality, but this car will always be valuable just for the impact it gets from guys. To just have to own it, so I don't think I'd have any trouble selling it.
You see what I was saying about the yellow or the orange now? It stands out, doesn't it?
Where's the lid?
The roofs, they're called the Targa roof. They're in little custom-made pockets behind the seats. I took them off so you can see it a bit better. But they just clip in and 2 levers lock them into place. It also comes as a convertible. It's quite manageable because I had to have all the windows down, which initially I didn't mind doing because I could hear the beautiful exhaust, but eventually it was too hot because they do put out a lot of heat. They have a reputation for overheating, but that's why this one's got such a huge radiator.